Yun naman pong mga testimonya ni na Ms. Valdewesa at ni Julia, tinatanggi nyo ba ang mga testimonyang iyon?
Tinatanggi ko po. Wala pong mga katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinasabi, kundi sa aking paningin ay kabaligtaran. Ngunit hinahamon ko po silang mag-file ng kaso sapagkat ito'y mga kriminal na mga allegations. At ito ay para maging fair, ay maghain po sila ng mag-file sila ng kaso laban sa akin o kanino mang kanilang gustong mag-file laban sa mga kingdom na leaders or members, because we are under the law of the Republic. Tulad po kay Masayon, yung kanyang sinabi.
Pastor, i-interrupt ko muna kayo doon dahil tinatanong ko muna yung mga testimonya ni na Ms. Valdewesa at ni Julia.
Sorry po.
Pinalimos nyo po ba yung mga bata para i-sustain ang operasyon ng KOJC at para tustusan ang inyong lifestyle?
Wala po kaming mga palisiya na magpalimos ang bata.
Pero walang polisiya man, pinalimos nyo ba sila?
Hindi po. Wala pong katotohanan yun.
Okay. Eh yung mga adults po,
Ganun din
pinalimos nyo ba sila or pinayagan nyo ba silang maglimos para sa operasyon
Hindi po.
at lifestyle
Wala
ng
pong
KOJC?
polisiyang ganon ang kingdom na magpalimos.
Wala mang polisiya pero pinalimos nyo ba sila,
Hindi
yung
po.
mga adults?
Hindi po. Wala pong katotohanan yun.
Alright. Pinayagan nyo ba yung pang-aabuso at pag-torture sa mga miyembro nyo?
Hindi
Halimbawa yung parusang dry fast?
Hindi rin po polisiya ng kingdom ang batas ng pagparusa ng tao ay ipapasting para mamatay.
Napansin ko po, lagi kayong nagre-refer sa polisiya, pero ang tinatanong ko po ay yung practice. So, pinaabuso nyo ba, pinatotorture nyo ba yung mga miyembro nyo? Pinapa-dry fast nyo ba sila?
Sa freedom of religion po natin, meron tayong separation of church and state. At tulad ng sinabi ko, yung fasting ay voluntary kung tatanggapin mo. Hindi po ipinipilit.
Alright. Kayo ba yung nakaisip nung modus na piliting magpakasal yung mga miyembro nyo na hindi naman magkarelasyon para manatili sila sa ibang bansa? Sino pong nakaisip nun, nung modus na yon?
Because this is under the investigation already, I invoke my right to remain silent on this issue.
Alright. Quickly lang po kay Ate Gingging, yung dry fast po ba, voluntary ba ito?
No, for sure.
No. Alright. Salamat
It
po.
was an instruction.
Instruction. So, hindi siya voluntaryo, instruction or utos siya. Alright. Salamat po. Mr. Kibuloy, boses nyo ba yung nasa audio file kanina, yung binabantaan mo yung si Stephanie o si Pane?
Kailangan po i-authenticate kasi ngayon malakas ang AI.
Pero boses nyo ba yon yung nagbabanta kay Pane o kay Stephanie?
It appears na parang boses ko. Pero hindi ko po ma-authenticate kasi ngayong panahon na to malakas ang AI.
At sino po si Stephanie Ibarra? Sino po si Pane?
Isa po sa mga manggagawa.
Manggagawa. Ano po yung relationship o relasyon nyo kay Pane o Stephanie Ibarra?
Isa pong manggagawa.
Isang manggagawa. Pero hindi ba totoo na kinupkup nyo siya, kinuha nyo sa inyong pag-aalaga nung siya ay 2 years old pa lamang?
With this issue po kay Pane, I invoke my right din to remain silent.
All right. So, pero sa pagkaalam po namin, inalagaan nyo siya nung bata pa lamang siya. So, parang naging tatay kayo ni Stephanie o Pane Ibarra. Tama po ba?
I invoke my right to remain silent po sa issue na yan.
Okay. Kasi sa audio file naman po, sa kabila nung sa pagkaalam ay kinupkup nyo siya nung 2 years old pa lamang, bata pa lang siya, na parang naging tatay kayo niya. Pero sa audio file, bakit parang asawa? Asawa nyo kung ituring itong si Stephanie o Pane?
I invoke my right to remain silent on that issue rin po.
Ngayon po, kino-confirm nyo po ba na meron kayong isang hukbo o private army sa inyong disposal? At ano po iyang tinatawag na angels of death?
Yan po ay kasinungalingan at kung yan ay akusasyon, inihiling ko ang accuser na mag-file siya ng kaso laban sa akin.
Okay. So, sinasabi nyo kasinungalingan yung isang hukbo na nasa inyong disposal.
Opo.
Pero ano naman po yung angels of death?
Hindi ko po, imbento po nila yan eh.
Imbento lamang. Ano ang, kanina po kasi sinabi po ni Sir Edward na yung, ano ba ito? Yung, saan na ba yung notes ko? Teka ha. Okay, Edward. Yung 2nd Metro Davao Signal Battalion ay may kaugnayan sa Task Force Davao. So, ano ang ugnayan kung mayroon ng Angels of Death dun sa DDS o Duterte Death Squad naman?
Wala po akong personal knowledge niyan, so I
Walang
invoke
personal
my
knowledge.
right to remain silent on that issue also.
All right. Tapos, pwede nyo bang ibahagi sa amin, mula sa perspektiba nyo, yung detalye ng law enforcement kung papaano nakuha nila ang kustodiya sa inyo?
Pakiulit po.
Mula sa inyong pananaw at karanasan, paano pong nakustodiya kayo sa kamay ng gobyerno, ng ating law enforcement
With
agencies?
that issue po, I also invoke my right to remain silent.
All right. Sige. Bago po ako dumako naman kina General Torre, meron po akong IFA-flash dito po sa ating monitor. Panoorin natin lahat, pati ninyo, Mr. Quiboloy. Inaayos lang po yung pag-flash natin dito. Naglalag lamang po, pero andito na dito sa gilid. Meron pa lang ako nakikitang pamagat ng event na closing ceremony. Okay. Welcome, closing ceremony. Military orientation training. Baka ito yung binanggit ni Edward kanina na ganitong klaseng training ng mga paaru na nasa 2nd Metro Davao Signal Battalion na may kinalaman sa Task Force Davao, yung paaru sa ilalim ng 11 RCDG or yung 1105th Community Defense Center. Okay. Edward, alam nyo ba itong closing ceremonies ng military orientation training na to?
Madam Chair, una sa lahat, correct ko lang po yung TF Davao, separate po yun, iba yun.
Opo.
Unang training po yun ng batch ng worker.
Okay.
Pero lately, naging pumasok na sila sa Paaro. Yun na yung national. Separate po yung Task Force Davao
Okay.
sa Paaro. Yung
Okay.
Paaro nag-start 2015 po,
Okay.
2nd Signal Battalion.
Okay.
Yan po yung mga lately na yan ng mga batch ng mga ng mga training po. Kasi hindi lang naman sa aming batch 2015 yung may training eh. Every year nag-help po ng training. Kung mapapansin niyo po, pagkakaalam ko hindi pa Brigadier General po si Buloy nung time na yan, nung time namin. Parang bago lang ata yan naging Brigadier General sa reserve unit.
Yes, na nakikita natin sa litrato na natakpan lang ng pagbilog sa kanila, pero BGen, Pastor Apollo C, na I
Sa
suppose
plane po.
Quiboloy. Apo. Pwede nyo bang i-confirm ito, Mr. Quiboloy?
Still on this issue, I invoke my right to remain silent din po.
Okay. So ang kaya ko noted, ini-invoke nyo ulit yun, ang kaya ko ipinakita sa ating lahat ito, dear colleagues, ang mahalaga, ang military training na ito, lumalabas ay para alagaan si Mr. Kibuloy, hindi po para sa bayan. Na ang alam natin sa ating mga armed services, yun talaga ang mandato nila. So, Mr. Kibuloy, ginagalang po ng komite namin yung constitutional rights ninyo. Ang mahalaga ay nabigyan kayo ng pagkakataon na magsalita rito. And then, ngayon po naman, please, of course, you will stay on sa hearing para kung may iba pang tanong sa inyo bago tayo matapos, bago tayo mag-adjourn. Ngayon po, tungo tayo sa ating law enforcement naman. So kung maaring matanong ko naman muna si General Torre, sir. General, nung nakuha po si Kibuloy, naging usap-usapan po noon kung naaresto ba siya or sumuko ba siya. Pwede nyo bang liwanagan ito para sa amin? Paki-update nga po ang bayan. Once and for all, ano po ba ang nangyari?
At the outset, ma'am, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to present our side on this August body. This is the second time that we appear in the Senate, and in the first time, it resulted in our ability to show to the public what is happening during the 16-day operation inside the KOGC compound. And today, we do hope to continue with our quest for justice to help the victims look and find and receive the justice that they also deserve. Regarding the arrest of Mr. Kibuloy, in all intents and purposes, in our whole operations, he is arrested because he submitted himself to my representative because he has no other options other than submit himself to the custody of the law, because whether he like it or not, he has no other options during the time, because I have 4,500 people around him inside this compound, and 1,200 is concentrated on the two buildings that he has control of. On the part that he is saying that he voluntarily surrendered, it is just on the colloquial and the popular term of this term surrender, because he has no other option. Again, I will stress on that, because all the other units there that provided us with assistance only provided prisoner transport from the place he is arrested to the place where he is detained. So that's the synopsis of everything that transpired during that day on September 8th, when he took custody of him to make him answerable to the crimes that he is charged of in various courts in the Philippines.
Salamat po, General. And bilang isang sibilyan, isang mambabatas, naiintindihan ko na anuman yung colloquial or popular term na gamitin, ang outcome ay nasa kamay na siya ng ating mga otoridad dahil sa environment na na-create nyo on the ground, no? Kasama itong 4,500 personnel nyo, na yung 1,200 ay dun lamang nakakonsentrate sa dalawang building kung saan siya tumagal, no, ng ilang mga
Yes,
mga
ma'am.
araw.
I
Yes, General.
do believe that the term surrender and arrest is being debated upon. Well, I do believe that the camp of Mr. Kibuloy would like to model the issue on the term the surrender and arrested, because it has great bearing on the criminal case that they are facing, ma'am. So they can use the voluntary surrender term as part of their maybe their defense for and prayer for leniency and cite it as a mitigating circumstance. However, it is not the case, and it was never the case in this situation, ma'am.
Well, in any case po, General, tulad ng nagtiwala kami sa PNP na sa tulong ng ibang mga other units na nag-a-assist ay mapapasakamay nyo rin si Mr. Quiboloy, may tiwala rin ang komite ngayon sa Department of Justice na ma-handle alang-alang sa mga victim survivors at alang-alang sa ating bayan yung mga kaso ni Quiboloy. General, ang sabi niyo po ay may mga continuing crimes na nagaganap sa loob ng KOJC compound. At sabi niyo po na may mga iba pang mga biktima na gusto ng PNP pang sagipin. So, pwede po ba kayong mag-elaborate tungkol dito?
As of the moment, ma'am, we are partnering with the Department of Justice in building up other cases to be filed against Apollo Quiboloy and his cohorts, his companions. Last week, we have filed sedition and inciting to sedition charges against them through the Department of Justice and with the assistance of the special prosecutors assigned by the DOJ for this case. And there's still continuing build-up on the possible rescue of other people because we had experienced the extensive brainwashing. Mr. Quiboloy had a head start of around 30 years against the law enforcement, and we are just scratching the top. And I do believe that as time goes by, as people see the fallacies of his declarations, more people and more victims will be having the courage, will summon the courage to actually seek for the redress that the law is ready to give them.
Maraming salamat para doon, General Torre. Yun din yung wish ng komiteng ito at napaka-importante yung sinabi nyo na may build-up pa kayo para sa dagdag na possible rescues. Of course, mga adults din at lalong-lalo na siguro yung mga bata tulad nung anak ni Miss Jocelyn na buti na rescue na rin niya, no? At sa tulong din ng DSWD at saka DepEd. Lastly for now, mula sa akin, General Torre, sabi nyo po, may mga humarang sa inyo sa pag-aresto kay Quiboloy. Ito ba'y, halimbawa, kagaya ng paglalagay ng mga fire truck, iba pang sasakyan para harangin yung highway mismo sa labas ng compound. Ito ba'y mga KOJC members din? O meron ding mga opisyal ng gobyerno? Sa tingin nyo ba ay may involvement pati yung local government sa pagprotekta kay Quiboloy?
Well, on the direct evidence that we have right now, ma'am, we have seen members and non-members alike who had conspired to prevent us from serving the warrant of arrest for Quiboloy, or at the very least make it very, very difficult for us to actually do our job. And it's not for the persistence and faith of my superiors and the people from the government, and also the cooperation and the blood, tears, and sacrifice of my men, we would not have achieved and overcome that the obstacles that they did to prevent us from achieving the mission. We had experienced roadblock after roadblocks, and in the pressures, especially considering that the compound is very large and the only coverage that we have there is the SMNI, to which we are actually asking YouTube to take down, considering that it's being used to protect a fugitive not only from the Philippines, but also a fugitive of the laws of the United States. So we're asking YouTube to actually take down the channel of SMNI and also Facebook for them to prevent from using those social media platforms as leverage for their illegal activities and criminal activities, basically. And at this juncture, ma'am, I would like to thank the Senate for giving us this chance to show to tell our story, the side of the story, hoping that this is a hearing in aid of legislation, and I do hope that legislation will really be passed to help us and again give leverage to the law enforcement, because I can really feel that in the 6-10-day operation we have reached the limits of the law, and we have really tested the limits of the law there, and I do believe that we still did everything within the bounds of the law, however difficult it may be. And I do believe that it's time that we also try to adjust the law in the hope that it will be more responsive to the needs of the time. Because if we only listen to all those telling us that, especially the lawyers of Apollo Kibuloy, telling us that we are doing things illegally because for 16 days we stay there without a search warrant, citing that the use of the warrant of arrest as basis of our search and stay there in the compound, which I believe that they are wrong, really gave us this sometimes this sense of doubting ourselves, especially that the propaganda day in and day out is hitting us left and right. And I do think that this opportunity comes because if we don't adjust and make the law more responsive to the current times, it will create a situation where some people will be definitely beyond the reach of the law. Because if we are not that persistent, Mr. Kibuloy will still be out there laughing at us and just telling everything that things that he wants to say because he will be out. He will be always out of the reach of the law. So thank you very much, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to be part of the crafting of more responsive legislation so that we can be better and more effective in our law enforcement and in the assistance and in the implementation of the processes of the laws of the land. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you also, General. And in fact, hindi lang ang Senado, pero iba pang mga institusyon at organisasyon ay nagpahayag ng suporta sa inyong law enforcement operation noong mga linggong iyon. Halimbawa, yung Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Davao. Kahit paglabas ng isang desisyon ng korte doon din sa Davao, inaffirm ng IBP Davao na valid pa rin yung operation ninyo in order to effectively serve the warrant. And yes, kahit tatlo lang kaming miyembro ng komite o ng Senado ay nakadalo ngayong mabagyong araw, pero lahat po kami, yung chair, si majority leader, si minority leader, ay may nakikita talagang halaga nitong pagdinig natin at yung mga partisipasyon ninyo na mga katrabaho namin sa gobyerno in aid of legislation. At may mga tinutukoy talagang mga lumang batas na baka kailangang amyendahan o mga bagong batas na kailangan nating ipasa. Lastly, General Torre, for now from the chair, ang CIDG po ba tumitingin na rin sa alleged killings na allegedly iniutos ni Kibuloy?
Yes, ma'am. Given the chance, we will be presenting the results of our initial investigation. For the past 1 month that I'm designated as head of the CIDG, I continued what I started in Region 11, and we are ready to present to this August body and to the public the link analysis and diagram that we had prepared with the accounting of the personalities, including the incidents, including those that were mentioned by the witnesses who spoke before me, ma'am.
I see. General, prepared ba kayo maghain ng ganitong kahit broad strokes kung ano yung pinaka-importanteng mga initial results ng inyong investigasyon nitong nakaraang buwan, pati yung link analysis, or ano ba yung maaari nyo nang at pwede nang ibahagi sa komite?
Yes, ma'am. We can show you just one slide, which is
Yes, sir. Please
the collection of, which is basically the simple result of our validation and collation of the information that we have right now, ma'am. It's on the processing, and I will be asking my regional chief of the Regional Field Unit 11 of CIDG to show to us the single slide.